right, it's 7 o'clock. I've got 7 o'clock. If you'd all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Play ball. All right, we've got a quorum. We've done the pledge. Approval of the minutes for April 20.
March 19th.
I said March 19th.
March 26th.
And March 26th. Any additions, deletions, corrections, or a motion?
Move to approve.
I've got a motion to approve both sets of minutes from the March 19th and 26th. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes have been approved. All right, on to our public meeting. Real quick, before we do the resolutions, I want to make note that the council met in an executive session to discuss potential litigation earlier today, and we'll move on with Resolution 5. Jenny.
This is a resolution I'm bringing before you from the AIM Medical Trust. The AIM Medical Trust Board met in November and just made the small changes that I pointed out in my email to you guys. So this is just comes before you for approval this evening.
All right, we've got Resolution number 5, 2018, a resolution of the Town Council of the Town of Danville, Indiana, adopting the second amended and restated agreement and declaration of trust of the AIM Medical Trust. Do we have any questions, comments? What's the pleasure of the council on this? I believe since it's a resolution, we can pass it tonight, right? Okay. So what do you think? AIM's done a pretty good job for us, haven't they?
Outstanding.
And they've been keeping things low, and I think it's an awesome organization that we need to stay in.
I move we approve Resolution 5, 2018, adopting the second amended and restated agreement, declaration of trust with the AIM Medical Trust.
All right, I've got a motion to accept Resolution number 5. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Tom. Any further discussion? All of those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Resolution 5 passed. Now, Resolution 7, declaring fire equipment zero value. Jenny.
I will, Chief Morgan,
I being deferred to, Madam Clerk? Excellent. We have equipment that we're no longer able to utilize, whether it be expired, out of date, whatever you want to call it, or it's got minor flaws in it. Some of them are like gloves. We have a bunch of singles that somebody could probably mix and match, but not in America. So what we have proposed is to declare this equipment to be of no value or use, and if that is the council's wish tonight, we'll make arrangements that the Crawfordsville Rotary comes and picks up this equipment, and they will take it to Mexico and donate it to fire departments who are in need down there. Again, this is stuff we truly cannot use anymore. Most turnout gear has a life expectancy of about 10 years. Some of it meets that a little bit before if it's been in too much fire or if it's had any damage to it. So that's basically all this equipment is.
Has this equipment already been replaced?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay. It's just sitting around taking up space.
Very much a lot of space, actually.
We should probably get rid of the
Yeah,
clutter now.
right now it's all in my office. So.
You got some decorative.
A little bit, yes.
All right, we have resolution number 7, any questions for Chief Morgan? We have resolution number 7, 2018. Thank you, Chief. A resolution declaring certain town equipment for the fire department of having little to no value. What is the pleasure of the council?
Mr. President, make a motion we approve Resolution 7, 2018, resolution declaring certain said equipment zero value.
All right. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Send away.
Thank you very much.
Oh, this is the Jenny Piercy show tonight. Jenny, the host budget approval for 2018. What
The
do,
last council meeting, I presented you with the host budget for 2018. This is a list of the expenditures, our current budget as of 2017, and any increases and decreases of expenditure appropriations that we are requesting, and then a list of our annual expenditures, as well as the department and chief's request for priority projects.
okay, so we have a lot of different documents to take a look at. We've got the 2018 host budget, decreases and increases, host fund annual expenditures, priority projects. Any discussion from the council? Gary, your thoughts?
I think the only thing that I'd like to call your attention to is conversation with Greg Irby in the audience. Note that, number one, the expenditures are higher than the revenues. I heard Mr. Irby that we only spend what we've got. So what you're looking at are wishes, department heads. Some of the items certainly are outside the realm of 1993 adopted host fund parameters. And as I tried to explain to him, there's a lot of stretching going on. Provide good services and go. So, you know, I want you to keep that in mind. We may have to revisit the ordinance to make changes. But I do know that as we sit in sessions and discussions, we've always talked about the fact that we need to have less reliance on the host fund budget, those items that need to be expended from the general fund. Sometimes it's hard to do. Is that a representation, Mr. Irby?
Are you comfortable, or you want to, is it,
Yeah, I was going to
I don't know.
see if any of the town employees had a thought about that. We don't usually do a Q&A like that, but on something like this, if it's limitable to the rest of the board, I don't have a problem. Laura, you have any thoughts on this? Department heads, anybody have anything to add? Anybody up here?
The only thing I would like to say is our cash balance right now is 1.2 million. With what I'm presenting to you tonight with the priority projects that the department heads and chiefs are requesting and the anticipated revenue for 2018, we are spending part of our cash balance. So that is correct. One thing, though, that did come up when the department heads, Gary and Laura and I met, is that when we are filling out applications for grants, they look at our host budget and they look at the balance there, and we are being declined for some grants because of the cash value we have in our host fund. So, and part of our discussions were spending down and utilizing those funds for projects that the council sees fit to get taken care of.
So we're being denied these grants because they say
Because
you've
we
got
have
too
too
much in
much
your
money.
bank account.
And they do know that we have waste management and we do receive revenue.
Do they not know that we have Rob Roberts, though?
Right.
How much money in grants is that
That's your problem
spending?
now.
I don't know. I don't fill out the grant application. I'm not part of that process. Julie's not here tonight.
I mean, if we're only filling out $10,000 worth of grants,
He asked how the total amount of grants that we were being denied.
more money, we have to spend more money. How that really works, but it does. Is that pretty succinct there?
I think that's a fair statement.
Comments I might make is, one thing I want to make sure we point out is that this host fund budget does include $100,000 that is set aside to make bond payments to reduce our tax levy. So that's in an effort to keep the tax rate lower. Secondarily, the future fund isn't represented on here. I want to make sure the public knows we put aside $200,000 a year to the future fund to make sure that when the landfill does close, we still have a revenue source coming from the money that we've invested over the last now, but hopefully for the next 20 years. And lastly, we'll run this account up. For example, when we took possession of the town hall and renovated it, we had saved amount of about $1 million to put into this building, $1.3 million, whatever, to put into this building. So what that represented is the money that we didn't spend each year that accumulated, and we had kind of an excess budget. So the other thing is, I can tell you that as long as I've been on the council, the priority list has had certain things on it that we have chosen, decided when it came down to spend the money, it wasn't a priority at that time, and we have to spend it. So it's a very flexible document that we can, if there is a priority that comes up that is more important than what's on the priority list, if it's a matter of public safety or something, we can choose as a council to go ahead and do that. So this is just, I would say, kind of a roadmap, a guideline as to what it is. So
I'll agree with Marcia that through the years, we've had post fund projects that get shuffled around, fade off the list as the years go by and others pop up. I don't think we've ever marked everything off the list. Department heads are already easy to throw something else out there. So,
We've never seen those laptops from 10 years ago.
forgot about those. Yeah.
And I will say along those lines as well, last year, one thing that we did up here was we brought back the Board of Finance for the Host Future Fund. And we have in place now a board that Marcia and I and 3 other residents of Danville serve on. And we meet quarterly, and we are watching the Host Future Fund, and it does have $4 million in it. And so we watch that. Jim Phillips serves on the Board of Finance, so we watch that very closely. I do want to add that there is $4 million Host Future Fund. So.
And we actually felt that it wasn't performing as well as we would like, so we changed providers and made some changes to hopefully improve it. So.
That answer your questions? Anything you want to throw at us real quick? Beautiful. All right. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. All right, so what are the wishes of the council? Do we accept this host fund project, host fund budget?
I move that we accept the budget as presented.
All right. Have a motion to accept.
Second?
We have a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. The expenditures passes. Don't spend all the money in one place, kids, and don't break the town. All right. I know. And Will, you're in my sights too there, amphitheater boy. I saw that right there at the top of the list. All right. Robbie Jr. when it comes to spending money. I meant that in the best possible way, by the way. All right, TIF Management Annual Report of Redevelopment Commission, Jenny Piercy.
This is the annual report that I submit every year to the Department of Local Government Finance. It just indicates our board members, our starting cash balance as of January 1st, 2017, and our ending balance as of December 31st, 2017, along with our expenditures. We no longer have we have a TIF district, but we no longer receive revenue for that area, so we're just spending what the leftover funds. And we have to report on those annually.
If edit went towards roundabout.
Yes. Yes.
All right. And,
All it takes is a motion to accept it.
okay. Motion to accept the TIF Management Annual Report. Do I have a second? I have a second and a third. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? TIF Management,
I'm sorry.
Jim and
Thank you.
Tom was a close third. He placed. Okay. That's right. Any public comment at this time? Nothing? Moving around then. Okay. Before we get to claim docket, around the horn, Gary? Laura? Ray? By the way, good job on the streets. I'm sorry these snows keep hitting at night, on the weekends, during the holidays. Not a good break, but summer, spring is coming, whatever season we're going to have tomorrow. Any other department head? Chief Morgan.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce Carson McCleary. Carson was hired last week to be our new Division Chief of Training. Carson comes to us, he's been in the fire service since 1999. Served as a volunteer with Hazelwood, or Liberty Township, here in Hendricks County. Became a full-time career firefighter EMT with Mooresville in 2005. Chief McCleary served 6 years as the Assistant Fire Chief of the Mooresville Fire Department, and most recently as a shift captain for the last 2 years. Chief McCleary still lives in Hendricks County, along with his wife and 2 children. So I wanted to make sure that you all had an evening to meet him. The next council meeting, I'll be bringing the new recruit class in to meet you all. But Chief McCleary's been here a week now, officially, because he missed I told him it wasn't a week because we were off Friday. But he's fitting right in, truly, and got to meet all of the staff today. We had an operations meeting, and I think he's well received, and I think we're excited. It's bringing a fresh set of eyes to our department. I think there's nothing wrong with a fresh set of eyes, to be honest with you. So,
Welcome.
I want to introduce him.
Great.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much.
All right. Jenny?
Nothing, thank you.
Marcia? Dennis?
Yeah, briefly here, last year around this time, April 8th, the town of Danville lost a dear friend. And Chris Goins, our town handyman, go-to guy, king of feeding the needy and looking out for others. And the next council meeting, April 16th, we're going to be honoring Chris and his family with a proclamation. So we'd like to get the word out to fill the room for Chris and his family.
Jim? Nothing? Nothing for me. Shocking. Claim docket. I have a motion to approve. Do I hear a second? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Claim docket's been passed. Good night. Enjoy the weather.